Please, now. Yeah.
Thank you. What is the legal basis for the authority that the Obama administration gave itself to attack anyone who's attacking Syrian opposition forces that the U.S. trains?
The legal authority.
Yes, legal basis.
Well, you're talking about in Syria and in protection of
Correct, yes.
ISIL, anti-ISIL coalition fighters that have in part been trained by the U.S.
Yes.
I frankly don't know what the legal authority is. What we're very clear about is that they're fighting in, frankly, a lawless area of Syria.
In terms of
they're
US
under attack.
law,
Let me finish.
Is it the
they're under
AUMF?
attack. Just let me finish. They're under attack and under pressure from a lot of different forces, mostly ISIL, I.s.i.s, but other forces as well in that region. And I think what we were trying to convey, and we talked about this yesterday, is the fact that we're bringing airstrikes to bear on ISIL in that area as they advance on ISIL-held territory or ISIL-held territory, and supporting them in that way, and that's actually been effective in fighting ISIL. It's a very complex and fluid situation, I get that. What we were trying to convey is that we'll also do defensive efforts in case or in the hypothetical that they would come under fire from Syrian forces.
So the only thing that changed since the announcement is the authority to go after Assad government forces, basically, because the U.S. had been bombing ISIS targets
It's not the authority to go after, just let me
that.
clarify, I said defensive measures.
Yes, but I'm sorry, but what would be the legal basis for attacking Syrian government forces? Is that the AUMF? Do you have congressional authorization for that?
Well, again, we have, as part of the coalition, and obviously, but we've been carrying out airstrikes in that region for many months now, almost a year. And the same in defense of these groups, but also to help them gain territory back from ISIL. These are any type of effort to protect them from Syrian forces would be defensive in nature. But I'm not going to talk about the legal framework.
But I'm sorry, but this is a major shift in policy. It's one thing to go after ISIS. It's something else to attack forces that threaten the forces that go after ISIS. Do you have congressional approval for that? Are you going to seek congressional approval for that? Under what authorization are you doing that?
At whatever steps we took would be in close consultation with Congress.
Oh, I'm sorry, but why do you think you don't need a UN Security Council decision on this?
What's that? Why don't we think we need one?
You don't need
We're
one.
obviously in close
Because
consultations
the
with
US
the UN
thinks that
Security Council. Syria is a very complex situation. I've said this multiple times. We want to see ultimately a political solution to the situation in Syria. We've been very clear about that. In fact, the Secretary just met with both the Saudi Foreign Minister as well as the Russian Foreign Minister in Doha yesterday. And they talked about Syria and how to resolve the situation there. Let me finish.
Excuse me.
So we're clearly committed to working through the UN to bring about a political solution via the Geneva Communique to the situation in Syria. All we're talking about right here is the fact that we would take defensive actions as needed to protect these forces that are fighting ISIL on the ground in northern Syria.
But you don't have a UN Security Council approval. You don't have congressional approval for that. Under what basis is the administration acting in this case?
Again, we're working with Congress on all of these issues in close consultation with them, and I'll leave it at that.
Do you have the green light?
Yeah, sure. Saeed, go ahead.
Do you have their green light? Consultations is one thing, but do you...
I direct you to Congress. Please, go ahead, Saeed.
No, I just wanted to clarify something.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Just to be clear, to my question, what the legal basis is for the decision to attack anyone who's attacking Syrian opposition forces, legal basis under international law or under U.S. law, you said you don't know. How is it possible?
I just, again, we've been carrying airstrikes out in northern Syria against i.s.i.s. We're continuing to do that. We're doing that as part of a broad coalition, many countries, as well as now Turkey, in support of these anti-i.s.i.s. fighters on the ground, both Kurds, Arabs, but also Turkmen, in support of their efforts. That continues to be our purpose, our main goal, is to take the fight against i.s.i.s. Nothing's changed in that regard. So I feel like that answers your question. There's no change in the legal framework.
It is actually a major change in policy. It is a major
I would
policy
disagree.
announcement, and yet the administration is not giving any legal justification for that.
Respectfully, I
possible?
disagree, and I'm going to move on because I'm under a time limitation. Please go ahead.
Sorry, back on Japan, but a different topic.
Yeah, sure.